In this week's episode of The Mandalorian, we find out that Christopher Lloyd here is not only a rather strong supporter of the Separatist movement, but also that he still reveres Count Dooku as this hero of the cause a good 30 years after.
Do it.
Yet we obviously know the whole Separatist movement was just a ruse, so how did he manage to earn such a positive legacy among them nonetheless? Well, let's start this out by putting the actual size and scale of the Confederacy of Independent Systems into perspective as it relates to the galaxy as a whole, which according to this map is designated here by the color red. And as you may notice, the vast majority of Separatist space is confined to rim territories that happen to reside on the outer edges of the galaxy. So a common theme these worlds happen to share well before the Separatist movement ever emerged is that they tended to get the short end of the stick concerning political issues within the Galactic Republic simply as a result of their proximity alone. So by serving as a champion of this cause, Dooku became a unifying voice of change that was rather easy for them to rally around, as he spent considerable amount of time traveling to several of these worlds where he gave rousing speeches, including Raxus, which ended up serving as the home of the Separatist Parliament after the CIS was founded in the year 24 BBY. However, while this was a legislative body made up of elected representatives that was formed and regularly officiated by Dooku himself under the title Head of State, this whole thing was just another ruse, because the Separatist Parliament itself really only functioned as an advisory body with little to no actual power. And given that Dooku repeatedly shielded them from receiving any frontline reports concerning the war effort, the Separatist Parliament literally had no knowledge of the many atrocities the Separatist army was actually committing under their nose while the war was taking place, which explains how Dooku was granted the Raxian Humanitarian Award by the Separatist movement as an example within the book Dark Disciple, after he had literally just gotten done committing planetary genocide on Marine without their knowledge. So with this being the case, Dooku was rather effective at influencing the ideological views of pretty much everyone involved within the movement, which he leveraged by continually pushing propaganda that indicated the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order were both victims of their own ambitions, with the Supreme Chancellor being a pawn of corporate monopolies, while the Jedi secretly created the Grand Army of the Republic to suppress the Confederacy's demands for reforms and equality, all while the Republic's clone troopers were regarded as unwilling slaves who were regularly sent to their deaths, making it easy for those within the movement to justify the use of droids given the morality of the issue. And since this ultimately became what the vast majority of Separatists actually believed, I suppose it explains why Dooku's legacy may be forever perceived in a positive light by those within the movement, and why they continue to feel such hostility towards authoritarian regimes.